This is a 305 multimedia production.
All right, so Chris and Jade, tell me how you guys met.
Well, at the job, actually. She's a receptionist at
For UPS.
Oh, okay, and then you're a delivery guy there.
Mm-hmm.
So just when you go in the morning and get set up and your truck's getting all loaded, you guys started small talking and then met from there.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys got two little kids, one boy, one girl.
Yes.
Yeah, they how old are they now?
5 and 6.
5 and 6, so kindergarten and first grade.
You got it.
Awesome. What school do they go to?
Youth co-op charter.
So they go to a charter school.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky them.
Yeah.
Lucky them. So how long you been with UPS, Chris?
About 7 years.
7 years now.
Mhm.
And you?
Same.
Same. You guys started around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So you were lucky. No one scooped her up before you. You kind of got
Exactly.
first dibs on her.
She caught my eye.
Congratulations. That's great. That's great. So what do you guys do for fun? I noticed you had a boat out back. That's
Yeah,
what
we
you
do
guys-
some boating on the
On
weekends.
the weekends. I can tell because you're tan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
to fish, you know.
Absolutely. I'm into fishing too. Do you guys get down to the Keys often?
Every once in a while we try.
Yeah, I love the Keys down there
Yeah.
fishing. That's great. Well, guys, myself as well. I got two little girls. I got a little boy on the way. So, basically, my job is simple. I'm here to provide you guys with the information of the child safety kits. At the same time, I'll show you some additional benefits you may qualify for. What I'm going to do first is play a video for you that's going to detail the relationship between my company, American Income Life, and the Child Safety Program. It'll better explain why I'm here.
Welcome to American Income Life Insurance Company. We offer.
Alright, so Chris and Jade, this is the child safety kit. What it's for is every year in the United States, 800,000 to 1 million kids are reported missing. Unfortunately, Florida is the #1 state for missing children. You guys have heard of the Amber Alert before?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the child safety kit works hand in hand with the Amber Alert. So on the inside here, it holds all of your children's vital information. So first off, what we have is a fingerprint strip. Now, what we want to do here with the strip, on the clear end, it peels open. You have one side per hand. The ink's non-toxic, so if one of the little ones put their finger in their mouth, it's not going to hurt the kids at all. Real simple. All you're going to do is left pinky to left thumb to right pinky. Press down firmly on the ink, and then press down firmly in the designated area. Don't roll back or forth like they do at the police station. We're not professionals. You just want a clear print. If it smears or smudges, it's no good. Make sure you air dry it also. All right, next we're going to have a photo of the child. Now this is key because this is the photo that would be on all the news networks in the area if your child went missing. So you want it to be an individual photo, not a group photo, because the audience would lose focus off of your child. So individual photo, shoulders up, perfect. School pictures work great.
Okay.
Yep. So child's age in the picture, the date the picture was taken. This is something you want to update every 6 to 12 months, especially right now while they're younger, 5 and 6. Every 6 to 12 months works well. All right, so next we're going to have a physical description of the child. If they have freckles, braces, braids, birthmarks, any kind of characteristics that make them unique. So for example, if one of your kids have braids, put a number 1 at the top of their head, number 1, braids. A birthmark on their left leg and number 2 on their left leg, number 2, birthmark left leg. So label them on the body, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then actually write the physical description there of what it is.
Oh, okay.
Also, what you guys want to do is put a piece of DNA on here. Now, a lot of parents will think of like a hair strand for DNA. That works well, but it only lasts around a year. A fingernail will last up to 20 years. So the next time you cut the kid's nails, go ahead and just tape a fingernail here. That way you have DNA.
Cool.
Now, last but
Didn't
not
know that.
least, yep, absolutely. Last but not least, this is the most important part that all parents forget, especially if you're ever in a state of shock or panic. Now, Jade, let me ask you a question. You being the mother, mothers would know this more than fathers, but do you know your kid's blood type?
I do not.
You don't. Listen, don't feel bad. All right, 99% of parents don't know it. What you're going to want to do is call the pediatrician. They're going to have the blood type on file. All right, and just list it right here. Also, if your kids are taking any medications, if they have asthma, anything at all, because whenever a child goes missing, they usually need blood, medication, or both. Okay? Anything that can stay the same, their name, their date of birth, their social, You can do those things in pen because they will never change. Anything that can change, height, weight, address, do those in pencil so you can always erase them and then update them. On the back here, it gives us some tips about what to teach our kids. Make sure that they know how to use 911. Their full name, address, phone number with area code. 30 minutes is 30 miles. They could be in a different area code. Teach your kids about the dangers of strangers. Back when we were kids, our parents used to tell us don't take candy from strangers. Nowadays, these child predators are a lot more sophisticated. Instead of candy, they're using computers, iPhones, Androids, iPads, all the stuff that kids are into. Now, I'm sure that your kids already know how to use an iPad or an iPhone better than we do. Yeah, exactly. So teach your kids about the dangers of strangers. On the front here, you're just going to label the front with the child's name, the day it was completed on. Keep it in a safe place in your home. If you ever travel, bring it with you. God forbid your child went missing. All you're going to do is turn this over to the police officers. It activates the Amber Alert system on your behalf. Now, because we work directly with the police union, they told us that this gives them a 300% chance of finding your child in the first 24 hours. What I need you guys to do now, let's grab your cell phones. We're going to create a contact under C for Child Safety Kit. That way, if you ever lose or damage the kits, or as your two kids grow up, you're guaranteed to get a hold of us, and we can get you out another kit at no cost.
Okay. What's the number?
You guys ready? 954-735-0681.
Okay.
What
are we saving this?
Save this as Child Safe Kit. So guys, I'm going to let this video continue for you.
I'm sure you know other parents who would want a child-safe kit to protect.
Alright, so Jade and Chris, this is where I need your help. As you can see from the child safety kits and the information that I just reviewed with you, it's critical in protecting children. And I mentioned to you earlier that we're dedicated to the police union to get these kits out to every single family that have children in the state of Florida. Now this could literally be your opportunity to help us save a life. I need the names and phone numbers of all the families you know in the area. That way we're guaranteed to get their children protected as well. We have your cell phones. We're going to go through your contacts, starting with the A's. We're going to go all the way through the Z's. That way we don't miss anyone. Now, most families sponsor at least 12 other families, so their children are guaranteed to be protected as well. Who's the first family you'd like to see get their children protected first? Let's start with the A's.
I have 800 contacts, Kyle.
That's amazing. So you have a lot of people. We're going to bang these out as quick as we can. Okay, let's start with the A's.
I got Ari.
Perfect. Okay, Ari. And what's Ari's last name?
Davis.
Davis. Okay. In relationship to you? Friend, family?
Best friend.
Best friend. Okay. Yeah. And is he married?
Yes, he's married.
What's the wife's name?
Maddie.
Maddie. M-A-T-T-Y-K. And what's his number?
It's 305.
305.
283.
283.
2211.
2211. What area does he live in? Miami?
Like Cutler Bay.
Cutler Bay. Perfect. Okay. Cutler Bay, Florida. How many kids does he have?
2.
Boys, girls?
He has a boy and a girl.
So 1 boy, 1 girl. All right, perfect. You guys have my commitment that I'm going to get these kits out to all 15 families that you sponsor. I just need you to understand I have anywhere between 8 and 10 appointments every single day, so I'm going to have to squeeze them in. But let me ask both of you, of the 15 names you just gave me, who would you like to guarantee receive these child safety kits first?
Let's go with Ari.
Ari? Let's give Ari a call right now. That way the second I get a chance, he'll already know who I am and I'll be able to get these kits out to him. Alright, so I appreciate you calling Ari, and you have my commitment that I'm going to get these kits out to all the other families. What I need you to do now is forward them a text while my list is still out. That way the second I get a chance, they'll all be expecting a call from me and I'll be able to get these kits out to them. Alright, so let me forward you guys this text, and this way we can forward it to all of them.
People calling you already.
Yeah, someone's calling me asking about it. I think that was one of my friends.
Perfect. What was her name?
Marie.
Marie?
Yeah.
Alright, this is what I'm going to do. Since Marie's phone number is saved in my computer, I'm just going to write it down. That way I'll give her a call as soon as I get out to the car. What's her phone number?
305-235-1131.
Perfect. Okay. So, Chris and Jade, your next benefit, this is of incredible value. It's available to all of our members at no cost for the first year. All right. It gives you 20 to 60% savings on eye care, hearing, prescriptions, and chiropractic. I'm going to let the video explain. Okay, so just like the video said, there's two options. There's the basic program and the gold program. All right, go through the brochure, check it out. On the inside here, there's an envelope. If you want the basic program, you just fill out the top 3 lines in black. If you want the gold, you fill out the bottom 3 lines in maroon. Send it in. You'll receive a card like this in about 10 business days.
Great.
Okay. So let me ask you guys, who do you know that could benefit from this other than the families you sponsored from the child safety kit? You guys know anyone that could possibly be taking medications and they're always complaining about how expensive it is, or anyone that maybe travels? Your parents?
Yeah.
Perfect, because we didn't get their names. Awesome. All right, so what's their name? Okay, so Chris and Jade, each family that we sit down with, we see them separately because each family has a different need and a different want. What may be right for you probably isn't right for your buddy Ari and his wife Maddie, or the family I'm going to see after you. And since every family has a different need and a different want, this video is going to explain to you why our additional benefits are so important. This video is going to show you how you can protect your family financially.
Okay.
Okay. So now that you guys have a little bit more knowledge about the different types of insurance, I'm just going to ask you a few questions to see exactly what you qualify for. We'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, So now that you guys have a little bit more knowledge about the different types of insurance, I'm just going to ask you a few questions to see exactly what you qualify for, and we'll go from there. Chris, what was your date of birth again?
January 10th, 1984.
Perfect. And Jade, how young are you?
My date of birth is February 15, 1987.
Okay, and then your oldest daughter was Bella.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what's her date of birth?
March 31st, 2008.
Chris, what's approximately your monthly income after taxes and any insurance deductions?
It's like $750 a week.
So you're roughly around what, $3,500 a month, $3,000 a month, $3,000 a month. Perfect. Okay, and Jade, how about you?
I am about $2,000 a month.
Perfect. Is let me ask you, Chris, do you have any life insurance through your job?
Yeah, some like a free policy they give us.
That's great. How much is it for?
It's $15,000.
Yeah, we both have that.
I'm assuming you have the same thing.
Yeah.
Perfect. So do you guys understand how your job insurance works?
If something happens, she'll get the money.
If you pass away, she'll get the money. If she passes away, you get the money.
Yeah.
That's somewhat right, guys. While you're working, you're covered. If you ever leave, lose, or retire for any reason, you're no longer covered. The reason being is what you have right now, it's a group policy. That's why you guys both have the same one. You work for the company. You're a part of a group. If you ever leave that group for any reason,
don't pay for it, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
And if you ever leave that group for any reason, you're no longer covered. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now let me ask you, do either of you have a permanent plan in place that's designed to take care of your final expenses and any unpaid medical bills? No. Okay. And Chris, do you have a plan in place that would pay Jade a large sum of money so she could continue to pay all the household bills?
What, like disability insurance?
No, where if God forbid you passed away, she would receive a large sum of money so she could still pay for all the household bills and take care of your children and raise them to your expectations.
No, the only life insurance we have is a good job.
Okay. Well, Jade, let me ask you, if God forbid Chris passed away last night and his income was gone forever, could you take care of the rent or the mortgage, the food, the car payments? Could you put food on the table for your 2 children without Chris's income?
No.
And Chris, same thing goes for you. Right nowadays, it takes 2 incomes to raise a household. So if God forbid something happened to Jade, on top of child care, you'd be stuck with all the household bills by yourself.
I could probably manage.
As a man, we'll make it happen, right? But I'm sure it would be a financial burden for you to make those things happen.
It would.
And I'm sure you'd both sleep better at night knowing that you had a plan in place that would pay the other one a monthly payment or a large sum of money so that you could still raise your children to your expectations, right?
Definitely.
The great news is, guys, we do have a plan that'll take care of that need. I'll show you both how it works in a minute. But first, do you guys rent or do you own?
We own.
You own, excellent. So for your age, you guys are already homeowners. My hat's off to you. That's amazing. What's your mortgage balance?
It's like $100,000.
100,000, perfect. Do you remember what your interest rate was?
3.5%.
3.5. Okay, perfect. And how many years remaining?
20.
About 20 years? Perfect. Now let me ask you, do you have a plan in place that would pay off the house if either of you were to pass away?
No.
I'm sure that's something you guys would want to think about, making sure the house is paid off.
There was, I think, private mortgage insurance when I first bought the house.
Right, we're all required to have mortgage insurance where if like a hurricane comes in and blows your house away, right, that the house is covered. This is in case you were to pass away.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the other one was still surviving, the house would be paid off so she could still raise your children in your house.
No, we don't have that.
Okay. Was it safe to assume you guys would like James and Bella to go to college?
Definitely.
Do you guys have any idea what a college education costs these days?
Yep.
It's nuts, right? Have you guys started any kind of college fund yet?
Nothing yet.
No. Okay. And you guys mentioned earlier that you do bank locally. That's a checking, savings, both?
Yeah.
Yes.
Both.
Okay. So the next part is critical because there's 3 criteria that must be met in order to qualify for our additional benefits. 1, you either have to be in a union, credit union, sponsored through one of our union members, or be a member of or your children have to be in one of the schools we work with. The second, which you guys are, so you're already in, that's no problem. But the second way is you must enroll during our enrollment period, which is today while I'm here with you. But the third and most important way is you have to qualify medically. A lot of the families we sit down with, they would like our additional benefits, but they can't qualify medically. So I have a couple basic health questions for you guys.
Okay.
Have either of you had any internal cancer in the last 2 years?
No.
No.
Insulin diabetes?
No.
Heart attack or stroke?
Nope.
No.
Do you use oxygen other than the air we breathe?
No.
Any kind of terminal illness?
No.
Alzheimer's that you can remember?
Not that I can remember.
No? Okay. And either of you use tobacco in any form?
No.
Perfect. Okay. And has there been any DUIs or arrests?
No.
Okay. Any medications you guys on for anything or the kids?
No.
Excellent. So I'm going to save this information. Alright, so this first video is going to explain to you how the program provides your family with an immediate sum of money to take care of your final expenses associated with your death, so that the financial burden is never placed on your surviving family, most likely your children. Video make sense?
Yeah.
So what your program is recommending is $30,000 each in whole life final expense protection. But let me ask you guys, what do the videos say the average funeral was these days?
Like 14.
14,000,
Right.
exactly. So why do you think the program is recommending 30?
So leave her some more money.
Leave her a little bit extra money, possibly. But you remember how the video said that in the future, inflation, 20 years down the road, it's going to be more. Currently, you guys don't have any coverage in place, so you need 30,000. The great news is we're qualifying you for the full 30,000.
Okay.
And I'm sure it makes sense to have this coverage in place, that way your family's protected, right?
Definitely.
So I know I asked you guys this earlier, but if God forbid Chris passed away last night and his income was gone forever, could you take care of the rent or the mortgage, the food, the car payments, provide for your kids without his income? This video is going to show you how you can protect each other's income. What your program here is recommending is 5 years of each other's income to be protected. So, Chris, 5 years of your income is $180,000. Now, you told me you made $3,000 a month. So
Right.
what this means is your wife, Jade, if you passed away, she would get $3,000 a month tax-free for the next 5 years to give her time to adjust. Now, currently, you already have 15 through your job. That's great. So all you need is 165,000 rather than the full 180. So we're qualifying you for the 165,000.
Really?
And Jade, for you, 5 years of your income is 120,000. Same thing. That's a certain amount per month that Chris would get if God forbid you passed away. You already have 15,000, so you need 105,000. The great news is we qualified her for the full 105,000 also.
Right.
And I'm sure it makes sense to have at least 5 years of each other's income protected if either of you were to pass away, right?
Most definitely.
You guys need to remember, after the death of a breadwinner, there's always going to be an adjustment period. But the most expensive bill, the mortgage, would still need to be paid. Would the surviving spouse be able to pay the mortgage with the lost
Not at
income?
all.
Right. This video is going to show you how we can protect your mortgage. Okay, so what your program is recommending to protect your mortgage is $100,000. That's what your balance is. You don't have any mortgage protection in place, so you need the full $100,000 to protect the mortgage, and we're qualifying you for the full $100,000. I'm sure it makes sense to guarantee your house is paid off if either of you were to pass, right?
Yes.
The need for our kids to get a college education, it seems almost indispensable if we want to allow them to have a solid and prosperous financial future. This video is going to explain in simple terms how. What your program here is recommending is $100,000 for each of your children's education to be protected. So that way, if God forbid anything happens, they each have $100,000 so they can go to any college that they would like to go to.
Okay.
You guys told me you don't have any college fund in place, so you need $100,000 each. The great news is we qualified you for the full $100,000 each.
That's great.
And I'm sure it makes sense to guarantee your kids get an education if you're not here to make sure of it, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, so let me recap on your guys' entire program. Okay, now your program is recommending $30,000 each in whole life final expense protection. Do you guys remember why it was recommending that 30?
For the inflation,
The
right?
inflation, right? You guys remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't have anything in place, so you need 30. Great news is we're covering you for 30. Your income, Chris, we're protecting your income for 5 years, which is $180,000. Now, Jade, let me ask you, do you remember why we were protecting Chris's income for the 180?
In case he's to pass away.
Yep, and what would that give you? Do you remember, Chris?
$3,000 a month, my income.
Oh, right. It would give you a check for $3,000 a month
Okay.
to make sure that you can still take care of the kids and pay all the household bills.
Okay.
Basically, my check's still coming in.
Right. Now you have 15, Chris, so you only need 165. We're qualifying you for the full 165. And Chris, you know why we're protecting Jade's income
Yeah,
for
$2,000 a month.
$2,000 a month for the next 5 years, right? Yeah, she has 15. She only needs 105. The great news is we're covering her for the full 105.
Okay.
Your mortgage, we're protecting for $100,000. You guys both know that's what your balance is. So your house would be paid off if anything happened. So that's what we're covering you for. And we're also protecting both of the kids' education here for $100,000 is the recommended coverage. You don't have anything in place, so you need $100,000. The great news is we qualified you for the full $100,000. Now, in addition to those benefits, you're also going to receive what is called a terminal illness rider. This is at no cost. All right. God forbid either of you were diagnosed with anything terminal, where the doctor tells you have 12 months or less to live. What this benefit allows you to do is take half of your final expense policy up front. You can use it on whatever you'd like to use it on. A second opinion, alternative treatment. Maybe you have a bucket list. You're able to use it on whatever you would like. The other half would be paid out after time of death, of course. Now, one of my favorite benefits here, this is the children's rider. What this does, this protects your children for $10,000 each in life insurance, so it protects their life if God forbid anything happened to them. The best part about this, though, is when they turn 21, they're able to convert this $10,000 policy to their own up to $50,000 whole life policy. The best part is without evidence of insurability. So even if your child develops some sort of uninsurable illness, sickle cell, HIV, cancer, God forbid, where they're never able to get life insurance, they would be able to get their own $50,000 policy with us at age 21, no health questions asked, at the best rate possible.
Really?
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions about your program at all?
You have any questions?
No, not really. You explained it pretty well.
Good. So it all makes sense?
Yeah.
Good. Well, guys, here, if it all makes sense starting as of today, you've both taken a very important step needed to being properly covered, because this plan is intended to fulfill your current needs. The only question I have for you is which option works best for you. Option 1, which most families choose, as it provides you with all of these benefits, but most importantly, it has that inflation built in for your final expense cost down the road. That way you guys never have to worry about it again. Or would you prefer option 2, which is still going to provide you with all of these benefits, but it's going to protect your final expenses for what today's needs are? This is option 1, this is option 2. Which option would allow you to sleep best at night knowing that your family's protected?
Option 1.
Yeah, option 1 would make the most sense.
Great, let's do this. Grab your license. I'll fill out the application. I'll be on my way, and you guys will be covered as of today.
This goes into effect right away?
Right away, you're covered as of today.
Great.
Perfect.
This is a 305 multimedia production.